Hello, all. Welcome back to 100 Days of Magic. We finally made it to day 13, lucky number 13, and we are going to talk about how your physical form relates to the magic that you create. So, as always, if you haven't met me before, I'm Donna Woodwell. I am the organizer of our Crossroads of Magic and Mastery, as well as the headmistress of the School of Magic and Mastery. And that's why I am here today to talk to you about one more slice of our magical pie that fits into 15 minutes because I believe everyone can live a more magical life. It is our birthright, a magical life that allows us to co create our world with conscious awareness as we move through our days 24/7. Hello, people. We have Anna and Boris and Claudia and Pat. It's nice to see you all here. I'm so proud of you. So many of you have been showing up day after day to support, well, me while I'm giving these little mini talks, but also your own magical practice. Every time you come and make time for magic in all the ways in your life, you are building a deeper structure, the stuff that helps you connect to that divine spark within you and learn to set the conditions so that you can shine that into the world. So much of our experience of day-to-day life is from the belief systems that we have in our heads that we are generating on our own. And when we realize that, we realize how much power we do have over our experience of our own reality. So that's what we're going to talk about today and the next day and the next day. How our magical practice is built by our physical experience, by the thoughts that we have in our head, and by the emotions that tie our thoughts and our body together. Well, starting at the bottom, our body. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard the saying before, your body is your temple. But really, do you listen to that? I mean, how much different would your life be if you actually respected that your physical form is literally the divine container for your spark of life? Now, if anyone's built an altar before, I'm sure you've cleaned things off, made it all pretty, set it all up so that it was appropriately attractive to the divine energy that you want to work with. Well, have you ever thought of yourself the same way? We can make spells out in the world to anchor our intentions. We can set up the altars. We can fill our spaces with crystals and all kinds of things. But sometimes we forget ourselves in that mix because ultimately your physical body is your number one anchor for all of the magic you're going to create in the world. And if you are ignoring it, then you are ignoring your primary anchor. And I know that can be troublesome for a lot of people because we are told, as we are brought up, constantly judged, that somehow how we present ourselves into the world is flawed, imperfect, less than, shame-ridden, put in the piles of adjectives. But every time someone does that to someone else or to yourself, you are diminishing how you experience magic in the world. I know it's a hard thing to think about, but it's true. Every time you've told yourself there's something wrong with the way you look, your nose is too this, or you weigh too much, or you are whatever, fill in the blanks. We are endlessly creative in our ability to criticize ourselves and to pass judgments on other people on this front. And so to begin to recognize that if your body is a temple, it's our responsibility, if we want to live a magical life, to take care of the temple. And that does not mean that we all have to sign up for a marathon. That just means we have to take baby steps in the direction for being as good to our physical bodies as we can. And of course, you all know the basics of this already. You need a little bit of exercise. You know, they say that, they've been doing some research lately that 8,000 steps a day is probably some of the best remedies against developing dementia and heart disease and all kinds of other things. So getting out and walking, just walking around your house while you're doing things, staying minimally active, not eating junk, because that is like throwing graffiti all over your temple. Getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, simple things that don't cost you any more than you're already spending on whatever you're doing, can have huge, huge benefits for your stress levels, your psychology, the amount of energy that you have. That once you get started, it's hard to want to go back to the way it was. As I said, you don't have to go overboard, you don't have to join a gym, but like getting off your couch is absolutely required. Because if we are all living in a little space in our heads and just being talky minds that aren't fully inhabiting our bodies, you are effectively cutting yourself off from one of the two major sources of psychic power that you have. One of them comes up from the earth, one of them comes down from the heavens, and we need both for magic to happen effectively. This is why magic happens at the crossroads, people. It's not because it happens because where two roads come together. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for our human existence. We exist at the crossroads of the earth coming up and the heavens coming down. We are the crossroads. So when someone says magic is happening at the crossroads, that's why. So I'm going to keep this session short and sweet. I challenge you for your homework today to really evaluate how you are considering your physical form and how it relates to your magical practice. How much baggage have you been carrying around from culture, from family, from religion, that somehow tells you your physical form is bad or dirty or shameful or broken or inappropriate? We hear it all the time from the people in our world because everyone's echoing what they've heard back to each other. Challenge that. Consider it your first foray into thought work. And in challenging that, get up off the couch, walk around the house, walk your pets, take a walk in the nice weather. It's coming up to the equinox season for everyone on the planet. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, it should be cooling off a little bit. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it should be warming up a little bit. Everyone's going to meet in the middle. You have no choice but to get up and do something. Think about how much water you drink in a day, or what you are putting in your mouth. Everything you eat is an offering to the divine within you. If you look at a plate of food before you put it in your mouth and you think of it as an offering to the divine, would you see it the same way? And it's this process of challenging the way we think about the habitual ways we do things that we begin to learn that we have some agency, some ability to change how we experience the world. And this isn't just magic. I mean, there are piles and piles of science that will tell you that if you are treating your body at least at a basic level of properly, basic level of exercise, reasonably healthy food, enough water, and proper sleep, those things, you will increase your body's ability to manufacture the right kind of hormones, reduce your stress levels, and inhabit the world in a different way. It'll also allow your body to hold more magical energy. And if your body's holding more magical energy, you are going to be attracting more spiritual experiences into your life because you're actually plugged in to the life force, as opposed to sort of denying that the life force actually exists at all. The life force flows through our physical body. If we ignore it, we are cutting ourselves off from source in a very real way, at least the reflected part of source, the source that is here in 3 dimensions. Okay? So, homework today should be really simple again. Consider what you're doing, how you're treating your body, and how you may be able to improve that process as an offering to your magical practice. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about today before I go? While you're typing in your questions, I will say the Crossroads of Magic and Mastery is a completely public group. So anyone can share any video here in any place on Facebook that you would like. So if I say something here that you want your friends to know about, pick up a video, post it to your page. I am totally good with that. You can also share any other post that is posted here. If someone writes some really cool astrological reflection, this group is public to enable you to help all the astrological and magical creators of the world to share their work out in the larger society. And of course, you can always invite your friends here. Invite your friends to hang out. I am making a little 25-hour course on an introduction to magic, 15 minutes at a time. It is there for the world. So if you know anybody who might benefit from some of these, please share. Sharing is caring, as they say in the Facebook world. All right? Don't any questions today, but truly, this is a really important foundation stone of doing magic. If you want to have more energy into your life, if you want to have more possibilities, more creative oomph, it does start with your physical form. Sorry to sound like a broken record. I'm sure you've heard this a million other places. But I have to underscore it here because you cannot divorce your physical experience from all the other magical things you want to create. Okay? All right. Short and sweet today. I look forward to continuing our epic adventure together. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the power of thoughts and how you can begin to work with your thoughts to shape your habits and your magical practice. So we'll be touching on intentions and the law of attraction as well, okay? But start with your physical body first. It's the thing that makes everything else possible, all right? Until then, I look forward to continuing our conversation.